a new Facebook group, estimating your trip expenses, a money-saving tip, and a little road trip up the Mississippi River. It's all right here. Hang on, here we go. Welcome everyone, Geezer here. Hey, I've created a brand new Facebook group as a companion to this video series. It's just a place for all of us to get together and post pictures, and tell stories, and maybe make some new friends even. It is indeed a group format, which means everybody gets to post, and for now we're keeping it pretty loose. I would like to keep it on the basic subjects of RVs and RV travel, camping, you know, the kind of stuff that we talk about here on the videos. But I'll put a link down in the video description area down below here. Just click on that, go to the group page, click join, jump right in. Let's have some fun with this. Okay, let's talk a little bit about estimating travel expenses. Back here in the do-it-yourself spreadsheet travel planner, and if you recall last time we talked about this actual column here where all these numbers come from. So this time we're going to talk about this estimated column and see where these estimates come from. Remember right here, have an input area. We can put the price per gallon of gas, and that just comes off of website. We'll get the national average, and I'll probably keep updating that until a couple of days before we leave. Average miles per gallon that we're going to get, just a guesstimate, at 6.5 gallons, or 6.5 miles a gallon, I'm sorry. And 125 miles a day average travel. Again, just kind of a guess, but I really don't want to drive more than a couple hours in a day. This average fuel expense is calculated from these numbers up here. Then there's areas here to put in the budget numbers for food expense, lodging expense, and additional expenses. You take all these numbers and they all transfer to these pages. I've got one for each leg. This particular one is for the leg 1, the Route 66. And it's just an input sheet. Have the state over here. The attraction. These are planned stops along the way. And here's the closest city and the highway that it's on, some basic directions on how to get to it. But here's the important part over here, is the number of miles. And this is the number of miles from the previous point. So this 183 miles right here, this would be from East Moline to Odell, Illinois, is 183 miles. This fuel number is calculated because we know with 183 miles, and we know our guesstimate for miles per gallon and the price per gallon, we can calculate this number. So there's a line for each one of these planned stops, and you just put in the number of miles, go to MapQuest, calculate the number of miles. Now the trick here is, if you're going to add something in, if you're going to insert and put a number in here, you have to, once you get this number, you have to deduct that number of miles from the next one to keep this accurate. In other words, if we were going to put one in here that was 6 miles down the road, this would be 6 miles here. You take 6 off of here, this would have to change to 35. And then all of this totals down here to the bottom to this little summary area down here. So I get scoot over. And this is pretty easy. We know the number of miles in this leg. You divide that by the 125 from the previous page, you get 23.95 days. Total miles, it's just a total of all the miles. Total of all the fuel, this just totals down. Total food, that you go back to your food budget, expense per day, times the number of days and get this number. Same thing with lodging, same thing with additional. And that calculates your total expense for this leg. All of these numbers here then go back here to the ledger, and as you can see right here, all these green ones would be leg 1. There's your estimated total miles over here, estimated total miles, same thing. You follow this right on down. Food expense $598. Over here, food $598.80 right there. So you can see where these numbers come in here, and you can see that these are, relatively accurate. It's just a matter of entering in where you want to stop and what the distance is, and everything else is calculated. So that's where I get these numbers. Of course, this is the difference between these two, and like I said, as long as these numbers are green, we're good. If there's a red one, then it's something to take a look at. But that's the spreadsheet. That's my little trip planner. And like I said before, if you want to build one of these for yourself and get started and get stuck, whatever, you can feel free to contact me. I'm pretty good with these spreadsheets. I'll be glad to help you. You can leave a comment here on this video, or better yet, go to the new Facebook page and just ask a question, and I promise I'll get back with you. Let me show you something cool. The America the Beautiful card. If you have one of these cards, you don't pay admission fees to get into any of the national parks. You also don't pay any day use fees at like Corps of Engineer properties. You can get discounts on any amenities within these properties, like camping, swimming, boat launches. I'll put a link to their web page so you can go take a look at it yourself. There's several versions of this card. This one happens to be the Senior Citizen Pass. There's also instructions there on how you can order these cards online or through the mail. But at the bottom of this website, there's links to the different governing agencies, and you can click on those and take a look and see if there's an office close by you where you could just drive over and walk in and buy one over the counter. The one that I've got here is $10. It's a lifetime pass, and I just love to save a whole lot of money on this expedition because we're going through a lot of national parks. So, highly recommended. Take a look, see if it'll do you any good. Get one. It's exactly what I did. I found an office for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Agency about 35 miles north of here, right on the Mississippi River. It was a really pretty day, so I grabbed the GoPro, jumped in the van, headed out to Route 84, and took a nice little road trip up the Mississippi River. I'll leave you with an overview of the Mississippi River Valley. Until next time, happy trails. I hope you enjoyed today's video. You can let me know by clicking that like button down below. Don't forget to subscribe while you're there. You'll want to come along with us. You never know what might happen when there's a geezer at the wheel.